Hey guys, it's your brother in Christ, Weston. Thanks for joining me today. Today's article comes out of End Times Headlines. Let's get into it. It says here, Putin is being urged to use nuclear weapons against Ukraine following recent attack. This came out today. this uh this is obviously an AI generated image because there's Putin. He looks younger than he ever has. And this over here looks like a toy. This doesn't even look real. And that's some kind of somebody's this looks like some Toy Story thing with the blow with something blowing up in the background. It's definitely AI. This looks hilarious though. It says here tensions between Russia and Ukraine have reached a boiling point following a devastating Ukrainian attack, which I saw yesterday with drones that were on top of trucks or something like that in the top of the shelters, and then this guy was filming it, and he would see a drone go, and then it started flying, and then I watched the video of the drone looking at, I think they call them white swans or something like that. These, I forgot how, they're millions and millions of dollars. Uh, Jets or airplanes or bombers, something like that. I think they're bombers, or airplanes that do something. Definitely not a jet. Um, or it looks too big to be a jet, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. And it lands and then it explodes. And you don't see the explosion, but you see that ones that have already been exploded because you see smoke coming off of them, you see debris, and then this one lands, and then it says have lost contact with 4 seconds, meaning it exploded. Yeah, that happened. So it says here, tensions between Russia and Ukraine have reached a boiling point following a devastating Ukrainian attack on Russian territory, which some Russian officials and commentators have likened to the infamous Pearl Harbor assault in 1941. The strike, which targeted critical military infrastructure, has ignited fury across Russian political and social spheres and hardline voices calling for drastic retaliation, including the use of nuclear weapons. I'm not going to lie to you. The fact that a drone, which probably cost a couple $1,000s, it was the idea of how to smuggle those things into Russian territory, then to get them to be remotely operated and fly off and destroy millions of dollars. It is a big L, a big L for Russia. And I've seen people, it's like it's laughable. It is. And in a sense, not that's not like mocking. It's that you would be pissed. You would be so mad that like what something that's probably under $10,000 um was crafted and destroyed something that was probably tens of millions of dollars, and you had multiples of them, and the hurt to what those things can do, the damage of what those things can do, and to be able to repair those during a time of war or a time of the war that they've been having, it's not possible at all. And well, here, let's continue. I'll finish up this and give you the rest of my thoughts. The attack, reportedly carried out by Ukrainian forces, used advanced drone and missile technology, struck a key Russian military base early hours of Sunday. While casualties figures remain unconfirmed, the assault caused significant damage to strategic assets, prompting outrage among Russian citizens. And it should, because you got infiltrated. Like, this is stuff that happens because you're not paying attention. Um, Social media platforms, including posts trending on X, have been flooded with the comparisons to Pearl Harbor, emphasizing the surprise of the scale operations. And it was. Prominent Russian nationalists and some Kremlin insiders have urged President Vladimir Putin to consider extreme measures, including the deployment of tactical nuclear weapons to deter further Ukrainian aggression. This is a direct challenge to Russia's sovereignty, and a senior commentator on state television. The time for restraint is over. We must respond with overwhelming force to protect our nation. However, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov refrained from endorsing nuclear escalation, stating Russia will respond proportionately to any threats to its security. Putin has not publicly commented on the calls for nuclear action, but analysts suggest this faces mounting pressure from hawkish factions within his government. The international community has reacted with alarm. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg condemned the escalation, urging both sides to exercise restraint. There's no way that they will. Any use of nuclear weapons would have catastrophic consequences, he said during a press briefing. The United Nations has called for an emergency session to address the crisis. Here's the issue. Russia is so proud. And to be honest with you, I thought Russia would have had this done years ago. Like, I thought Russia, like, I don't understand how Russia, a superpower, because they're not, maybe it's because they're not using nukes, but it would feel as if Ukraine, and mind you, Ukraine has had help this entire time from other nations. Um, but that Russia, I don't know. Like, you feel like you watch a war movie and you're just like, I understand it. And maybe we don't. Maybe I don't understand it. Of how this nuclear fallout's supposed to happen, not nuclear fallout with this war, and the nukes is just like, yeah, like that's on the table. I don't believe Vladimir will surrender, will throw up the white flag and say, okay, let's seek for peace. He will, I just see it all over. He will respond in kind, and it will be devastating. And I don't know if that's nukes. I don't know if that's something way, I don't know, more people that are inhabited into a certain city and actually going to target that city now. I have no idea. And so the aggression, I believe, will happen because Russia started this. So at least they triggered the war between them, regardless of past issues or whatnot. This is what happened. Russia had invaded Ukraine or tried to. Uh, uh, they targeted them 3 years ago, and now we're still here. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. All I do know is that if you have people who are asking, like, "Hey, we can't," like, you don't want to look weak. You do not want to look weak, and that's what's going to happen here. But the smart play um, is to not have this at all. Is to just not have this at all. And it's not unwise of a king not to surrender, but to know when he needs to draw back for a fight at another time or to get his way. Whatever he wants to do, I don't know. What I have a feeling is that Vladimir's not going to do that. I don't know. They say they'll respond proportionately to any threats to its security. So there's that. But um, yeah, I don't know what happens here. And, any given Sunday feels like just something's going to happen any given day. Anyways, that's the video, guys. If you like the video, be sure to like the video. If you want to see more, be sure to subscribe. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one.